Hello, we are off on a little tour for you. We're going to see Wroxham, is it Wroxham?
Waxham.
Waxham. We're going to see Waxham Great Barn, and this barn is ancient. It dates back from 1583, yeah, 1583, and parts of it to 1066. It's absolutely stunning and beautiful, so we're going to show you a little bit of the journey. Darling, we're going to show them a bit of a journey, aren't we? Bit of the journey. So I will flip the camera around. We're going to go down our sandy track. Yay! This is just a few meters from us. That's the sea, and this is beautiful, this barn. Look at the bricks on this. There's a nice thatched barn there. I really, being into construction, and there's our little house over there. I really like so I'm going to just go on here. Look at that. Down resting on the thing so they don't have to look at your car. Don't know if there's anything wrong with your car, of course. So it's very, very close to us where we're going. It's just a few miles away. It'll take us about 5 or 10 minutes to get there. Do you reckon?
Yeah.
About that. But as we approach the barn, Wink is going to slow down, aren't you, darling?
Am I?
Darling, you're going to slow down, aren't you?
I'm going to go really, really fast. This handbrake turn. So look at this on the edge of the road here, where it just drops off. And
just drops off. There's two little dikes.
Little bulrushes and things.
Woo. There's loads of.
This is the way I come on my little scooter to the next nearest.
On your
town.
bicycle?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes. When I go to see Paulie, I'll come this way.
Oh right, okay. Because the sandy track, we've gone in a big square because the sandy track can be a little bit difficult. Look at that lone house over there. It's really sweet, isn't it? It's all really sweet around here.
Sand dunes again.
So these, you can see the sand dunes just coming up. So this is just a little bit along from us, and it's sort of on the way to where we saw the seals, but not quite so.
The seals were further down.
Yeah, they're further down, but in this direction.
Although we do get them here as well, but not like that.
Yeah, we do. Sometimes we can see them swimming in the sea. We go, what's that in the water? And they're, oh, it's a seal. But they do their breeding where we showed you. So this is a little track that we've cycled down 1,000,000 times and been in the car 1,000,000 times. So in Norfolk there was a thriving industry for the bulrushes, which grow on the Broads.
Oh, the reeds for making thatching.
Yeah, and the bulrushes are they were special reed boats, and we went to a museum and learnt all about that. But the reeds are particularly hardy and are used for thatching the roofs of the houses here. But it is a dying industry. But there are still some, skilled workers that collect the bulrushes, and it was quite a hard job, wasn't it, cutting them all down?
Yeah.
They would store them all on the boats, and then they would all get prepared and
they would
put
cut
in big
channels into the reed banks like a maze. They were. And when me and my brother were little, we had canoes, and we used to canoe off down the reed cutter channels and get completely lost. And then you'd have to kind of stand up in the canoe to see over the top of the reeds to work out where you were and go, all right, main Broad's over there. And it's like a little maze. You have to find your way back out.
Yeah, look at these cute little houses. I want to show them. See, these are people's holiday homes.
There's a really nice one coming up.
There is. We'll slow down so that we can get to see. There's lots of little. The Gypsy Caravan is owned by the lady who runs the cafe.
No, this is a different one.
Oh, it's a different
guy
one.
with the boat for his porch.
So we're going quite fast. It's on this side, the one with the boat, isn't it?
Yeah, someone's pulled in now. They're all pulling in to let us go by.
Oh, it's nice. Look at this little one here. These tiny little houses. There are old railway carriages as well.
This is the Gypsy Caravan. And
this is the Gypsy. Look, there's a Gypsy Caravan. It's part of their house. And look at the front door. It's a boat. Isn't that cool? These are really sweet. This one's a really sweet one. And these are more permanent residences.
So we're even going to get round there.
Yeah, you will if you go right over.
What's he doing?
I don't know, it's obviously learning to drive, that one. Oh look, there's a proper park.
I know, right by the way he's gone and
yeah.
into there.
Well, I think he couldn't tell.
Hey, locals.
Locals, they know what they like, the locals. That's a nice little house there. So these are where people live all the time, but a lot of these are holiday houses, and they never come up for sale. They just get passed down from generation to generation. And Wink's mum bought the land. When did she buy it? Did she buy it before HP was born?
This is like in the 60s.
In the 60s.
She came on holiday up here with her friend, and they had the caravan and the plot of land, and then they emigrated to Canada and offered my mum the chance to buy it off them.
Wow.
So she bought it for like, I don't know, like peanuts in like kind of around the time we were born.
Yeah. This town is called Sea Palling, and this is one of the towns that flooded in 1953.
There's photographs of it with all.
Yeah, they're all in the
Gosh, I'm
cafes.
glad I'm not down here on my little motorised bicycle here.
Oh look, there's a Nino.
It's the local law.
It's the local law. They might not have liked it.
I would have had to have stopped and abandoned my bike back
Yeah,
there.
run off and hid in the rushes.
Gosh.
So if you look up here, just stop here so that I can show them. That up there goes right onto the beach. It's where whoops, it's where they, oh look at that house, isn't that gorgeous? That's one of Wink's favourites, he likes that, like Tudor kind of house. Yeah, they have a lifeboat here, and I remember once we were in the pub. It's actually closed now, the pub down here, and there was a big kind of shout went up because the dunes were on fire, and about 20 burly men left to go and help the firefighters put the fire out, because without the dunes and the kind of the it's not marron grass, is it? What's it called?
It is marron grass.
Yeah, marron grass that grows there. The root system is what keeps the sand dune together, and without the sand dune, we only need a bit of a big wave, and it will just tear it down.
Shop.
Nearest chop.
Waxham Barn, you see?
Waxham Barn heritage sign. And in the other direction is where we took you the other day, which is Haysborough. It looks like Happysburg, but it's pronounced Haysborough. Goodness knows why. Which is where the lighthouse is. Look, there's another little thatched house. Let's get my finger out of the way. And they use the local flintstone here really beautifully.
Here by that house.
Down here we could, if we had any money.
They sell gas, yeah, that's good to know.
Good to know.
And coal.
And coal, gas and coal, just round the corner. So here we've wiggled away, and we're still following the coastline there. There's a few sheep. We've cycled down here, haven't we?
Yes. The barn is just on this corner.
Right, so it's just on this, so we're going to really slow down so that you can see. It's a massive, massive barn, and it's stunning. And excuse me, part of what it's built with is the old masts of sailing ships that became shipwrecked and not were washed up on the beach. So they would reclaim all the wood from these old, you know, so Mutiny on the Bounty type ships.
It's very nice, look at that.
See, that's beautiful, isn't it? Look at the stonework on that, it's just lovely. And the walls, see the stonework. This is the barn here. This is all going very fast.
This is the barn, look.
This is the barn here. And it's got all the little slits for bows and arrows and all of that sort of thing. And you'll see it as we drive in. That's the top of it. It's absolutely staggeringly stunning.
And there's a cafe.
Yeah. So we're going to have a latte, and I have brought with me my nut milk in case they don't have it here, because it's a bit out of the way here.
Only have proper cow juice here.
Proper cow juice. Here, there. Look at it. It's just stunning, yeah. So I'm going to get out of the car. Hello. We're out of the car. Look at this.
You're open today till 4 p.m.
Isn't it beautiful? This is ancient. Absolutely ancient. English tea. I'm going to have a latte as an English cup of tea. Look at the stonework. Isn't it stunning? And give you a bit of scale. Wink. Winky dinks. Could you run over there, old bean, and give them some scale? They actually have weddings here and they raised loads of money to kind of fix the thatched roof. But this is like a long barn. It's absolutely massive, and they've made a little cafe in here. So you can see how big it is from there. I love all these stonework. What's that, darling? Look at the big, you see those little slits there for the bows and arrows back in the day. Oh yes, there's some information about it here. Might have to take some stills of that and put that up. Waxham today. See, those kind of ships that were washed up, they would use the beams for that. In the 1720s. See, Daniel Defoe, not to be confused with William. Ho, ho, ho.
Smugglers.
Smugglers, yes.
18th century smugglers on this coast.
Yeah, longshore sharks.
They're the lifeboat men.
Lifeboat men. You can probably freeze this and read it.
Well, look, they reckon that's 1588.
That's what the roof is like. Inside, we'll go inside. What's that?
That's what they reckon it looked like around here in 1588. There would have been a nice garden thing. That's the house that we drove past on the way here.
Yeah.
There's the barn. There's the church. It's all still there.
Yeah, it's all still there.
And there's the sea.
And there's the sea. With all those lovely ships on it. So let's go and have a look in, shall we? Oh, hang on, what's this? This is all...
These are some old Norman windows and bits from the churches and stuff around here. Handmade bricks.
Handmade bricks. Fantastic. Done, let's go in the barn.
Yeah, let's go in the barn.
Let's go, because this was around when Henry VIII was around, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Easily. In fact, there's a
ruined abbey up the road from here. He plundered and smashed up. It's all just in ruins still.
Yeah, and it's in somebody's garden. It's stunning. We found it accidentally when we were cycling, didn't we? In fact, we could actually maybe drive up there and...
Down a footpath.
Yeah, we went down a wee footpath. Look at those lovely big doors, aren't they fantastic? And I've only been inside this barn once actually, but we stayed for ages, and there's a little thing saying, can we spot the mast of the ship, which dates back to like hundreds of years. Look at it, isn't it beautiful? They do weddings here. Isn't it just glorious? They've restored it so beautifully. But didn't we find a ship's oar somewhere in the roof? We found a mast.
Things around here before, display cabinets and stuff in here.
Yeah, well they've obviously had a wedding in here because there's pictures on the internet of the weddings. But look at the windows. They've blocked some of them in, I guess to make it more habitable. See? Isn't it beautiful? Look how thick the walls are. And the thatch. I wonder if I can get a better look at the thatch for you. I'm always fascinated by thatch.
That's a mast. It's round.
Where?
It's round, that's a mast.
On top of the beam?
No, that beam is a mast.
Oh yes.
It's round.
This beam here is a mast of a ship. It's actually round. I don't know if you can see that, it's a wee bit dark.
It's a round beam and all the others are square.
Yeah, all the others are square. See? And that one is definitely round. So that would have been the mast of a a massive sailing ship.
Probably wrecked on the shore here.
Look, you can see the thatch. It's like basket, in and out, like a mat, sort of underneath, and then the thatch will be laid on top. But it's absolutely massive, and I really love it. I really love it. There's lots of odd bits and bobs in it. Yeah, maybe you can see that that's round now. I think you can see that that's round. But there's loads of weird bits of timber in here when we came last time.
That's a bit that's attached to another bit, you see, that bit's nailed on.
Yeah, there's a bit nailed on there. It's really dark, actually. I don't know if I can... There's a thing to make it lighter, and it never seems to have any effect whatsoever. That's a feature. Oh, gosh. Oh, maybe it does have an effect. That's better. Sorry about that. And here's another bit. Look at the end of it. That's the gable end wall with all its beautiful slits in it. So they've built a partition wall here, probably for the purposes of, I don't know, using it in a modern way. So I'm going to go right to the end, to this beautiful gable end, which I managed to get the top of it on the video driving in, but it's a bit difficult because there's a tree, and there's of course the speeding winky dinks. Look, you can see into the next roof section. Darling, can I get you to run to the end? See, I can never get him to do any running. Darling, run. Fast walk. He's only got one walking speed, he says. You can see how long it is, because it's taking ages to walk there. Don't take any ages. Just all the beautiful... Oh, it's such a shame it's so dark in here. Why is it not focusing? There we go. He is just at the end now. Darling, waving. Darling, wave. Wave. He's not playing waving today. But you can see how massive this structure is. It must have been incredible them actually building it, because it's so high, the roof is so high. Anyway, emergency exit. And as you can see, we've got it all to ourselves. Trying to make the screen lighten up, but it's not playing ball. I love the tall roof. I love roof structure. I quite like construction. One of my businesses was energy assessment and construction and heat loss through the fabric of buildings.
Go back this way, you can see how wonky the walls are.
How wonky the walls are. Let's look at the wonky walls. See, they've some of the slit holes in the back gable end have gone.
See? Yeah, it leans in, goes out towards the top.
Yeah, so they're thicker at the bottom and tapered at the top. And then they're shored up with, I don't know what they call it in building term, I ought to know really, on the outside. But this is our lovely barn, and we're going to go and have a cup of coffee now. What's that? Thatching. In fact, they've got these up against the windows to stop the draft. These are the reed thatches that we were talking about. And you'll see they're up to afford a little bit of kind of little wind. Come on. See, they're up there just to kind of block a bit of draft excluding, medieval style. But yeah, it's fantastic. You see up there? I love it. I love it. Love, love, love. So that's our barn. We're going out through the giant door here to the cafe. And there's the edge of the thatch just sticking out of the end there. And there are all the walls from the outside. So we're going in for a cup of cha, aren't we? So we hope you enjoyed seeing this. It is just stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning. Just stunning. Think how many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years old it is. 1066, that's 10. How long is that? I'm not doing very good with my maths right now. How long is that? 1580, 15,
well, 15,
16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's 5,000 years.
No, hundreds.
500. Is it?
700 years old.
700 years old. But it dates back to 1066, which is 10, 11,
nearly
12, 13,
nearly 1,000
nearly
years.
1,000 years. And it's still standing. Down and say goodbye. Can they see me?
Yeah.
Bye, my lovelies. We'll take you on some more tours, I promise. Absolutely delighted to report they have a vegan cake and dairy-free options for lattes. Yes! Okay, so we missed the vegan cake by one person. The person in the line in front of us bought the last one because it's been really popular. They have 2 vegan cakes every day. That's all gone?
I found a thing about the seals that we saw here, which are grey seals. And it says the grey seal can be distinguished from the harbour seal by its long, straight Roman nose and wide nostrils, earning its scientific name Halacturius jaipurius, meaning hook-nosed sea pig.
Down there, sea pigs. Hook-nosed sea pigs.
They're hook-nosed sea pigs.
Ooh. Are there any other interesting facts about the barn?
Well, this is all about the seals there.
Ah.
But here we go. There's a thing about the barn here.
Being repaired. Barn repaired.
Quite a lot of reading involved, I believe.
Yeah. Maybe we'll take one home with us and read it. Any interesting dates? Any bullet points?
1571. There's the thatch, I'll do that.
Don't you speak up a bit? Because they'll be accusing you of mumbling.
It appears in the local. So
He is mumbling.
I am mumbling because I'm just.
He's doing the mumble read.
There's probably lots of interesting things.
I tell you what, we will read them and we will tell you in the car on the way home. How about that? Good idea?
It says that they're ventilation slits, not arrow slits, and
Oh.
they're designed to be dark and airy so that the food doesn't rot.
Cool.
They have threshing floors. Waxham Barn has a room for 3 threshing floors, apparently.
Threshing what?
Threshing floors.
Oh, that's for threshing the corn. The seed. So, not arrow slits.
Oh, so that is an Elizabethan manor. Waxham Manor, the one we drove past. It's Elizabethan manor.
So that Elizabethan is... That was Henry VIII's daughter, wasn't it? Elizabeth I.
The church contains the tombs of the lords of the manor who built the barn. They were constructed by the Woodhouse family during 1560s and 70s.
1560s and 70s.
And apparently Woodhouse was a high sheriff in 1553 and his brother William was knighted for gallantry. Sir William and his son Sir Henry. And they were... Oh yeah, because it's all to do with the Spanish Armada along here as well, I remember that.
Spanish Armada?
Yeah, it says that the charged with the Tollies section of the coast.
Speak up a bit, darling.
And on the Armada map of 1588, Waxham is identified as a stronghold.
Woo!
It's the so this Elizabethan, this barn,
which is the daughter of Henry VIII, who reigned for 50 years or more. And the daughter of, was it Anne Boleyn?
I don't know.
Catherine of Aragon, I
don't
can't
know.
remember.
It says on the just before dawn on October 16th in 1987, 7 trusses at the eastern end of the building were blown down by a terrible gale. During the repairs that followed, it was possible to re-erect the original trusses. Only a few lengths of new timber were needed, so they found all the bits that blew down and put it back together with all the original stuff.
Oh, that's fantastic. Over and out?
Yes, well, there's lots of stuff, but I can't read anymore. I'm going to drink my coffee now.
Coffee. Vegan coffee.
Proper coffee with sugar.
Cow coffee. Cow breast milk coffee. Cow breast milk?
Yeah, that's all.
Give me your best moo.
No.
See? Not a cow. We have found out some more information from this sheet that I think you'd be interested in. When Henry VIII, King Henry VIII, closed down all the monasteries in the 16th century, all the old buildings were kind of robbed of their marble and their stone because there was no stone in Norfolk. So a lot of the stone that's in this here barn is from the monasteries that were kind of raided and looted back in the 16th century. And the buttresses, which are those leaning posts, I said I didn't know what the name of, they're the kind of the big pillars on the outside of the barn, kind of like shoring it up. They're also made of bricks from manor houses and monasteries and stuff as well. And the other really interesting thing...
actually taken apart and just rebuilt as they were in the monastery here.
Right, so they took them apart and then rebuilt them, a bit like Lego, but with bricks and stone. So I guess that's why the stone is on display, because it's from a monastery dating back to the 16th century. So this is actually one of the longest thatched roofs in the country. I don't think it is the longest, but it's one of the longest, and it took the guy who rethatched this 1 year to actually complete the job, and it was 15,000 bundles of reed, so that would have taken a lot of cutting down as well. Yes, that definitely is a mast, that beam that I kept trying to show you, from ships that were kind of wrecked on the treacherous coast here. So what else have we got? Is there anything else that you found that you... it's got 3, you said about the threshing grounds. Was there anything else?
Not really.
No, so we thought we would add that little bit of information in that we found in this document here, which I think we're going to take one home and leave it in the bungalow for anyone that comes up and wants to visit who hasn't already visited it. So there you go.